The story unfolding across the Middle East has captured the attention of the entire world, with Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, and Iran coordinating efforts that appear to have penetrated the heavily fortified Israeli defense systems in an operation aimed at supporting Palestine. This development is not just a headline, but a massive shift in the regional power balance, one that highlights both the vulnerabilities of advanced defense technology and the strategic depth of nations long considered adversaries. When we talk about Israeli defense, most people immediately think of the Iron Dome, aerosystems, and multi-layered missile interception networks that have been described as some of the most sophisticated in the world. The idea that a coalition of nations could work together to overwhelm or outmaneuver these systems reveals not only the scale of the operation, but also the level of planning, coordination, and technological capability involved. At the heart of the story lies the Iron Dome, Israel's most publicized missile defense system designed to intercept short-range rockets and artillery shells. It has boasted high interception rates in past conflicts, but even the most advanced technology can face limitations when confronted with saturation tactics, electronic warfare, and coordinated multi-front assaults. EG's involvement in such an operation signals a bold shift in regional alignments given its historical peace treaty with Israel, but military observers have noted that the use of long-range drones and stealthy cruise missile designs may have played a role. By launching waves of projectiles or deploying low-altitude systems designed to confuse radars, Egyptian forces could contribute to overwhelming Israeli sensors and forcing the system to allocate resources faster than it can replenish. Lebanon's angle comes largely from Hezbollah, the powerful non-state actor backed by Iran but deeply entrenched in Lebanese territory. Hezbollah has spent decades amassing an arsenal of short and medium-range rockets, precision-guided munitions, and unmanned aerial systems capable of striking sensitive Israeli targets. Analysts suggest that the coordinated use of swarming drones coupled with rocket salvos from southern Lebanon might have acted as a diversionary front, forcing Israeli defense batteries to split their focus. This would leave gaps in coverage, making it possible for other coordinated strikes from Syria or Iran to slip through. The performance of Hezbollah's weapons in real combat scenarios has long been underestimated, but recent years have shown improvements in accuracy and survivability, largely due to Iranian training and technology transfers. Syria's involvement is equally significant, as it sits geographically on one of Israel's most sensitive borders, despite a devastating civil war and years of foreign intervention. Syria still maintains ballistic missile capabilities and has hosted Iranian Revolutionary Guard elements that enhance its military reach. Launching attacks from Syrian territory creates a multi-directional threat, testing Israel's defense not only in terms of hardware, but also in terms of command and control systems that must rapidly process incoming data and make split-second decisions. This reveals a core weakness of even the best defensive networks. No matter how advanced, they rely on human operators, communication channels, and real-time decision-making under pressure. If Syria managed to synchronize its strikes with those from Lebanon or Egypt, the effect would be to stretch Israeli defense across multiple theaters simultaneously. Reducing its ability to mount an effective counter Iran's role is perhaps the most decisive element in this development. Known for its ballistic missile program and its long-range drone capabilities, Iran has invested heavily in creating systems specifically designed to penetrate advanced air defenses. Hypersonic weapons, maneuverable re-entry vehicles, and drones with radar-absorbing profiles have all been tested in recent years, often showcased in military parades, but now seemingly put to operational use. For years, Israeli defense systems were designed with the expectation of Iranian attacks. But facing them in conjunction with simultaneous offensives from multiple directions creates a whole new level of difficulty. Iran's missiles have ranges exceeding 1,000 kilometers, meaning they can be launched from deep within Iranian territory, complicating interception efforts and stressing Israel's defensive endurance. In terms of design, these systems are often built with modular warheads, decoys, and electronic countermeasures that exploit the weaknesses of radar and infrared detection systems. The unique selling point of this coordinated offensive lies in the synergy between nations that historically have operated with their own agendas. For Egypt to act in alignment with Iran, Syria, and Lebanon marks an unprecedented moment of strategic convergence, suggesting that the Palestinian cause has become a unifying force strong enough to set aside political differences on the performance side. What stands out most is the way these nations appear to have adapted their offensive capabilities specifically to test Israel's multi-layered defense. Instead of random or sporadic attacks, we are seeing synchronized patterns that mimic wargaming scenarios. Decoy drones leading ahead of ballistic missiles, rockets forcing interceptors to expend ammunition before heavier projectiles follow, and cyber or electronic jamming operations targeting radar installations. This kind of complexity reflects years of planning and signals to the world that the Middle East is entering a phase of highly advanced hybrid warfare when viewed from the perspective of design. The coordination is almost architectural in nature. Each nation represents a different pillar in the assault structure. Egypt, providing long-range projectile capabilities. Lebanon saturating Israel's northern front. Syria creating direct border pressure. And Iran supplying cutting-edge missile and drone technology. Together, these elements form a layered offensive that mirrors Israel's own layered defense. It's almost like watching two massive chess players maneuver, but instead of pawns and knights, they are deploying rockets, drones, and electronic warfare units. This design highlights not just military strength, but also geopolitical willpower, as aligning such diverse actors under one operational umbrella requires significant diplomatic groundwork and shared strategic vision. Another critical performance factor to consider is the psychological and political dimension. Israel has long relied on its reputation for invincibility in terms of defense, portraying its missile shield as a near impenetrable wall. The mere fact that adversaries have been able to penetrate it even partially undermines that narrative and creates ripple effects in both regional morale and international diplomacy. For Palestinians, this operation symbolizes the possibility of external support that can actually alter the battlefield balance. For Israel, it creates pressure to prove that its defenses remain reliable, both to its citizens and to its allies abroad, particularly the United States. For the rest of the world, it demonstrates that even the most advanced systems have vulnerabilities when faced with collective pressure. A lesson that may influence military planning far beyond the Middle East. The technological dimension of this story also deserves attention. Israeli defense relies not only on interceptors, but also on early warning radars, satellite imagery, and artificial intelligence-driven tracking algorithms. For adversaries to bypass these suggests advances in stealth materials, flight trajectories designed to exploit blind spots, and perhaps even cyber infiltration of communication networks. Reports suggest that some drones may have been modified with low radar signatures, while certain missiles use unpredictable flight patterns to evade interception. This points to a broader trend in modern warfare where the line between state-of-the-art weaponry and cost-effective improvisation becomes blurred. A $10,000 drone can sometimes achieve what a $1 million missile defense interceptor struggles to counter, especially when multiplied across dozens or hundreds of simultaneous launches. From a layman's perspective, imagine a security system in a house. The house has cameras, alarms, and guards. But if a group of intruders approaches from every direction at once, while others throw smoke grenades to confuse the cameras, the system becomes overwhelmed. Some intruders might still get caught, but others will slip through. That is essentially what happened here on a national scale. Israel's defenses are strong and capable, but no system is foolproof when attackers learn to exploit the weaknesses with coordinated timing and diverse tools. What makes this event unique is not just that a few projectiles got through, but that they did so as part of a highly synchronized campaign involving multiple countries with different resources and capabilities working together toward a single goal as the situation continues to develop. Military analysts will dissect the performance of each system involved, looking for lessons on both sides. Israel will likely adapt, recalibrating its defense, increasing its reliance on lasers and directed energy weapons currently in development, and expanding the integration of AI and predictive targeting. Meanwhile, the coalition of Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, and Iran will see this as proof of concept, validation that their collective design and performance in offensive operations can achieve real results. For the global audience, this moment marks a reminder that military technology is only as strong as the strategies behind it, and that in the constantly evolving game of warfare, today's defense breakthrough can become tomorrow's vulnerability when faced with innovation cooperation, and sheer determination.